On the night of December 13, 1921, a soft, white blanket of snow covered the earth, and every tree and every branch was trimmed with fleecy loveliness. Wet snowflakes stuck to the overcoats of homebound townspeople in the county's villages as they carried new Christmas ornaments. Each town erected a town tree, heightening the joy and excitement. Every church had their Sunday school pageants. Most kids wanted to play the part of the shepherd that just petted a sheep in the manger. Congregations from all churches, regardless of color, packed the pews at each and every church. Now Christmas was the biggest log thrown on the fire of a child's snowbound desire, and mischief was the cinnamon sprinkled in the apple cider. You see, these pageants always had accidents that were actually well-laid pranks by a poker-faced rascal who might be posted innocently as the angel next to the manger. Bud Morgan remembers successfully knocking the lights out during his church's pageant, just as a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all people should be taxed. As Bud stood on stage in his robe, he rigged a string from his berobed hand to the light switch, and then, boom! And just as the Star of Bethlehem rose wobblingly over the firmament in one Lutheran church pageant, it went out, causing considerable consternation and wonder at this miracle. Then there were the singing groups, especially from the black churches, that sang away the cold, drawing the shadows of the homebound to their windows. And often they would be invited in to warm by the fire and share some cider and cookies with the appreciative. As Christmas Day approached, Helen Link remembered the last day of school when children walked to school and, believe it or not, were eager to be there. Each year the kids had a scheme, a surprise for the teacher. The day before closing, they would have the trimming of the teacher's desk, as they called it. Boys in the class gathered some cedar the night before. Then other students would go around and gather up a little money for a gift, a nickel here, a dime there. Helen didn't ever recall getting more than a quarter from any one child. And they'd go around and collect maybe $1.75. Then they'd go to a nice store and negotiate for a dish of china or something. When morning came, the teacher knew that something was going on, and he or she would get away somewhere. The students would fix up their desk really nice. Then they'd get the present to school and have it sitting on their desk. That pretty desk with all the trinkets and greens, an orange here, an orange there. And then the teacher would come in and, oh, how happy they would be. If you, a teacher or a child, got an orange for Christmas, Helen always remembered, you were really blessed. On Christmas Eve, young Reva Copenhaver of Carneysville and Virginia Hahn over in Uvilla went to sleep like most of their friends throughout the valley, buried under tons of down blankets with only heat rising from a pipe in the floor that reached up from the kitchen stove. Then the big day. After the presents were opened, the families might have a big breakfast of sausage and hotcakes or corn cakes made from farm stuff. But nothing could match Helen Link's mom's homemade ice cream, her famous caramel ice cream that would top off the day's dinner.